Mhm. Says I'm live. Hello, hello, hello. Merry Christmas and the fa la 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 la. Happy Thursday. Hope you are having a great day, a great afternoon. Oops, hold on. You are having a great day. I'm watching myself because I didn't have to turn off the stream. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right. So, anyway, well, there we go. It live, clearly. Um, welcome. Welcome to this stream. I did not think I was going to be going live this afternoon. I wasn't planning to. Usually on Thursdays I'm live at 10:30 in the evening, Eastern time to read a story, and tonight will be no exception. I'm still going live tonight, but here's the story. By the way, let me finish that thought. So tonight I will be on live again reading this story for Once Upon a Turkey Leg. So that is going to be at 10:30 tonight Eastern time. Um, and I'm very excited to be bringing that story to the stream tonight. This stream is because this is kind of a substitute for my uploading on my podcast. Not because I don't want to do anything on my podcast today. It's because my podcast, the app that I use, the Castbox app, for the second day in a row has been giving me some grief when it comes to uploading an episode. I I've been doing this book, reading out of this book, Stories Behind the Best Love Songs of Christmas. I've been doing one a day, at least up until last Thursday. And then over Saturday and Sunday, I took a little break. Monday, I came back. Tuesday, I woke up late. And then I was tired when I got home from work, so it didn't happen on Tuesday. Yesterday, I tried doing the reading on my podcast. It did not upload. The app was all glitchy. So I tried it like 3 times, and the way that this app works, the upload, it's really what happens is you do your recording, then you try to upload. You cannot save the recording outside of the app, like to your phones, like to your device, to like, you know, upload it, you know, from another method. Um, so each time you read it, that's like the one reading, and if it doesn't upload, if that, reading, that recording does not upload, like it did not do yesterday, then you have to just delete it and start over again. So the reading that I'm about to read you today, I have read already like 3 times. And I have actually read this twice today for the Once Upon a Turkey Leg podcast. and it still is giving me grief today. So I haven't even tried doing this reading. So that's the story behind why I'm going live in the afternoon. That way I can still bring a reading to you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finally read. I'm going to read about this reading this is going to be now the fourth, maybe the fifth. It's at least the fourth time that I will have read this about the song Joy to the World. I should have it memorized by now. Actually, give me 1 second. I need to check because the Charlie Brown Christmas story, I'm trying to, see, it's still on Castbox. The Charlie Brown Christmas, it's right here. It's not uploading. It's right there. It's not. I'm going to try to upload it again. But if it doesn't go this time, then I might have to delete it and try later. I tried taking the app off and uploading the app or reinstalling the app. So I'm gonna let that sit there for the duration of the stream. Anyway, I was just doing a couple of Christmas thingies, cards. Let me say hello to chat. Nicole is here. Nicole is here. Thank you for being here. The Hitchhiking Bones, Dawn. Speaking of Christmas cards, I got one from them, and it is way over there across the room. But Dawn, you know what you sent me, so thank you for that. Again, I know I sent a thing over, sent to you already. Oh, all right, guys. I just got the notification. It actually uploaded right here. Castbox. Castbox gave me the notification here. If it will focus. Charlie Brown Christmas. Space Mountain Dave, hello from Kentucky, or to you from Kentucky. Welcome in. Hello from Florida. But yes, okay, so if you want to listen to a Charlie Brown Christmas on the Once Upon a Turkey Leg podcast channel, it is up. It went up on Castbox. It will, Lord willing, be going to the other platforms very shortly. Woo! So, all that, 8.5 minutes later, let's go ahead and let's read. Let's do this reading, which I will not be trying to read again for the podcast. There's other readings on there. There's 16 up there now. And one reading, I've actually, when it didn't work for this reading, I actually went ahead to a different song and read about a different song, Christmas song, and that I finally got to upload this morning from yesterday. So I haven't actually tried reading for the Dean Report. So, and just to clarify, this book's reading, this is on the Dean Report podcast, and then the Charlie Brown Christmas, and that's Once Upon a Turkey Leg, which is the stories. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and read about the song Joy to the World. And hopefully, I think I'm going to take tomorrow off of trying podcasts because I do have to work tomorrow. That way it'll just give me one less thing in the morning, and then Saturday I will I will see if the technologies want to work for me right. So now that I'm 10 minutes into the stream, welcome everyone that's here. I'm going to go ahead and read this reading. This is the fifth time that I've looked at this page this week. Actually, in the last 24 hours. This is the fifth time that I have looked at this page. Joy to the world. And I'm going to read about the history, the story behind this song of Christmas. So, without further ado, and without whining and moaning about my technological issues, here we go. Merry Christmas, joy to the world, and joy to the podcasting. Here we go. Two brilliant songwriters, although they never met, together created one of Christmas's most lasting songs. Each of these two musical icons ignored the established way of doing things and blazed new trails in every facet of their work. Moreover, the men who brought the song to the world were both trying to bring religious music into a new era. Since they lived a half a world away from each other and were separated by almost a century of time, little did either of these revolutionaries realize that through their collaboration they would create a timeless holiday classic for every age and every audience. As a matter of fact, Isaac Watts and Lowell Mason probably didn't even know they had given the world a Christmas anthem at all. Isaac Watts was born on July 17, 1674, in Southampton, England. His father, also named Isaac, was a revolutionary Protestant church figure in Britain. Strong-willed and stubborn, the elder Watts, a cobbler and tailor by trade, resided in prison when his son was born. He was a criminal nonconformist, having been found guilty of teaching radical ideas that were not approved by the Church of England or established scholars of the time. At a very early age, it was obvious that the senior Watts had passed his free-thinking ways on to his son. Isaac Watts grew up worshipping at Southampton's above-bar Congregational Church. Most British children who displayed Isaac's intellectual potential would have been assigned to Oxford or Cambridge. Yet because he was not a member of the Church of England, Isaac was sent to the Independent Academy at Stoke Newington. There, no doubt spurred on by his father's example, he continued to display his rebellious nature. Not content to allow things to remain status quo, Watts questioned everything. He demanded to know why he or anyone else should be satisfied with the way things were when they could be so much better. Although he did well in his studies, Isaac left the academy at the age of 20 after learning Greek, Hebrew, and Latin, and returned home to live with his father. Like most young people, Watts found church music of the period to be uninspired and monotonous. He saw no joy or emotion in the standards sung by choirs and congregations. Yet while most of the new generation kept quiet, Isaac complained bitterly to his father about the archaic language of the psalms sung in church. The elder Watts, never one to stand on tradition, challenged his son to come up with something better. This challenge initiated a creative burst that would not end until Isaac had composed more than 6 600 hymns and hundreds of other poems. "Behold the Glories of the Lamb" was the first Isaac Watts hymn. It was followed by scores of others. For a while, most of his work was met with contempt. No one wanted new translations of the Scriptures. Some even viewed young Watts as a heretic or tool of the devil. Yet he refused to give up. He constantly challenged those around him with new songs and new ideas on faith. After spending several years making his living as a personal tutor, Watts became the assistant to Dr. Isaac Chauncey at Mark Lane Independent Chapel, London. Within 3 years, the now 26-year-old Isaac became the minister. Thanks in part to his work ethic as well as his new ideas, the church grew rapidly. With his new position and the respect that accompanied it, Isaac was finally able to publish his songs. Through his hymns and theological writings, Watts became one of the best-known clerics in England. Elizabeth Singer, a young woman deeply impressed by the minister's inspired written work, wrote to Isaac and quickly established herself as his biggest fan. She proposed marriage via the mail. When he accepted, Singer anxiously raced to Isaac's side. Rather than cementing a lifelong love, this meeting ultimately focused the writer on his work, not on Elizabeth. Singer would later say, "He was only 5 feet tall, with a shallow face and a hooked nose, prominent cheekbones, small eyes, and a death-like color." Unable to look at the man and see the brilliance that lay just underneath, the woman immediately went back home. Heartbroken, Watts poured himself into his writing, never again seeking the companionship of a woman. It was while studying Psalm 98 that Isaac was inspired to write his most famous song. In verse 4, Watts studied the phrase, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. Make a loud noise, and rejoice, and sing praise." Focusing on this verse and the 5 that followed it, Watts penned a 4-stanza poem called "Joy to the World." Set in a common meter, the poem was usually sung to the tune, "Come thou fount of every blessing." Yet, because Isaac had dared to rewrite the Psalms, few British Christians of the time embraced the song. Watts did not give up in his efforts to make church music more meaningful to the common man. He continued, in the face of growing criticism, to write and publish new songs. The Psalms of David, imitated in the language of the New Testament and applied to the Christian state and worship, was released in 1719. This volume, filled with now well-known classics such as "We are marching to Zion," "When I survey the wondrous cross," "At the cross," and "This is the day the Lord has made," would not only be slowly accepted by British Christians, but would inspire others like Charles Wesley and John Newton to compose other new Christian songs based on personal experiences. There can be little doubt that Watts' stubborn will and continued efforts to bring Christian music to the common man kept "Joy to the World" in the public eye long after the writer's death in 1748. It also began a revolution in modern Christian musical thinking. 44 years later, Lowell Mason was born in Orange, New Jersey. As a teen, he directed his church choir and taught at singing schools. Even though many thought of him as musically gifted, Mason didn't see a way to make a living at it. In 1812, the young man moved to Savannah, Georgia, and began a career as a banker. But music hadn't left his soul. In his spare time, he also learned harmony, wrote original melodies, and became a student of the composer Handel. With the late German composer as his influence, the banker sent off a book of self-penned music and arrangements to a Boston publisher. When the material was matter-of-factly rejected because the American public wanted new folk music, not classical standards, Mason decided to use his talents only on weekends as a Sunday school teacher and organist at the local Presbyterian church. Imagine his shock when, in 1827, he discovered that not only had his music found a publisher, but that the Handel and Haydn Society of Massachusetts had orders for 50,000 copies of his songbook. Immediately leaving the South, Lowell Mason moved to Boston. For the next 20 years, Mason was a mover and shaker in New England music circles. Like Isaac Watts, Lowell saw himself as a revolutionary. He was constantly battling the establishment with his own fresh ideas. Schools at the time ignored music, so using his own money, he initiated the first public school music program in Boston. He also became the city's most important music publisher and would eventually write more than 600 hymns, including My Faith Looks Up to Thee and Nearer My God to Thee. In 1836, Mason, whose love for the classical composers of Germany had not waned, In 1836, Mason, whose love for the classical composers of Germany had not waned, composed a new melody inspired by two songs from Handel's Messiah. Lift Up Your Head and Comfort Ye, by, sorry, blah, blah, blah. He composed a new melody inspired by two songs from Handel's Messiah. Lift Up Your Head and Comfort Ye. Yet, when Mason finished his work, he had something brand new. Yet, when Mason finished his work, he had something brand new, an exuberant ode he called Antioch, after the Syrian city that was the point of departure for Paul's first two missionary journeys. Antioch seemed to beg for words, but it would take the writer a while to find the message to go with his melody. 3 years later, in a songbook entitled Modern Psalmist, Mason finally linked one of Watts' Psalms-inspired lyrics to his tune. This time, the people were ready for Joy to the World. In 1911, Elise Stevenson, who had scored huge chart success during the early days of records with Shine On, Harvest Moon, and Are You Sincere, joined Trinity Choir for a Christmas release of Joy to the World. The Victor Records single climbed to number 5 on the charts and marked the first time that either Watts or Mason's music had appeared on popular contemporary music playlists. It remains a mystery how this hymn became known as a Christmas carol. Inspired by Old Testament scripture, with no words alluding to the birth of Jesus other than the phrase, "The Lord is come," Joy to the World would seem to be a song for all seasons, something to be sung in July as much as in December. Nevertheless, for some reason, Americans embraced Joy to the World as a holiday standard. Perhaps because of its jubilant spirit, it just felt like a Christmas song. Joy to the World is one of today's most loved Christmas carols. Yet, because it does not use as its inspiration anything from the first four Gospels of the New Testament, it also stands as a unique non-Christmas Christmas standard. Perhaps that is fitting, since both Isaac Watts and Lowell Mason strove to push the envelope in order to get people to see scripture and music in a whole new way. Watts and Mason knew, and we should remember, that Christians should exude joy each and every day because the Lord is come. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. And that concludes the reading from Stories Behind the Best Loved Songs of Christmas. And that is the reading that I tried to upload on Castbox, and Castbox will not have the pleasure because it didn't want to work. So now I have it on YouTube for all to enjoy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Very, as Don said, yeah, great background information in this book. Lots of facts and stories about the songs. I'm probably right, after I'm gonna have to like go back and like reread this um again because there's a lot of some of the stories really interesting. So anyway, so with that, I believe that concludes or is about to conclude this live stream. Um, Hope you enjoyed the story and the history behind Joy to the World. Like I said, I am technology permitting. I am attempting to do a reading a day um, leading up to Christmas Day. Um, there have been a few stories that a few songs that I wasn't as familiar with that I have decided not to read in the series. But and then there were a few days where I missed, and so when it comes to Christmas Day, if there's still some songs that I haven't covered, I'm probably gonna keep doing for a few days some episodes on the podcast. Um, just to get those stories in so that you can hear them. And if I keep having technological issues, I may go live again. I don't know if it would be Saturday. Um, that's my next day off. And there's a ton of people that already go live on Saturday. So I might do this again on Monday if I'm having more trouble with Castbox. Um, I am looking at launching a brand new podcast in January, which I have started making. I recorded an intro to it, and the podcast is called Disney According to Dean, and it will be my medium of talking about all things Disney, whether it be news, reviews, commentary, um, what have you. And so more about that to come. And with that, I am going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you all for coming and watching and listening and enjoying this special reading from this book and this series. So yeah, Monday I might do this again if I'm still having tech issues. I do have a way. I found a website / app called Headliner that you can actually connect to your podcast stream channel and put up your the audio from the podcast channel onto YouTube. It will take you have to provide them some kind of an image, like a thumbnail, and they will put that with the audio, because when it goes from audio to YouTube, it has to kind of convert to a video. So they kind of take care of that process for you, and then you can just put it up. And I have done that. I did that with the first reading of this a couple of weeks ago, and I did also the introduction, the welcome episode from the Once Upon a Turkey Leg. So that's on the YouTube channel. But the trick with doing the headliner thing is that the podcast has to be up on the platform. So if your podcast platform decides to go kooky bonky, that's a technical term, by the way, kooky bonky, it doesn't work. But anyway, I hope you have a great afternoon. I will be live again tonight at 10:30 to read this Charlie Brown Christmas, which just uploaded. If you weren't here before, or if you're watching, anyway, the it is up on Once Upon a Turkey Leg, the podcast. So anyway, yes, and you can get there by going to that link that Don just put up, the campsite.bio/the turkey leg stir. And the one thing that I was having trouble with, if you try to follow, if the link, if you cannot, what am I trying to say? I was trying to just do the campsite.bio/the turkey leg stir. If for some reason you're trying to type that into a browser, it may not take it, or somewhere. I think actually the problem was when I was trying to put it in the description of my streams, I had to add the HTTPS with the semicolon and the slashes there. Anyway, if you have problem following a link, I don't know why I'm saying this. You might need to include that first part if you have trouble following the link, if it doesn't work. But if you want to follow me on Instagram here, Instagram Dean the Turkey Legster, I do have that link and it does work. It's in the bio of my Instagram. So I hope I made sense. I've not been live a ton lately. I hope everyone can see my beautiful Christmas background that I found on Amazon. I don't remember how much it was, but I absolutely love it. It's fairly easy to take down and put back up again, which I may have to do this afternoon. But anyway, and I've got my ring light up back there to help put some light back there. So that was a fun addition to my room this Christmas season. So with that, I'm going to actually end the stream, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Again, hope you enjoyed the reading, and I hope you'll come back tonight for Once Upon a Turkey Leg, where actually it's going to look a lot the same like this. It will not be light out later. Other than that, I'll still be here with my turkey legs on my head, and I will be reading again. So have a great afternoon, guys. Take care, and then I'll see you in the next stream, or you'll see me in the next stream. You'll see me. I'll see your name in the chat. Have a great day.